So I want to talk to you today about finding a friend in the most unlikeliest of places. Oftentimes today, it's hard to get along with people who are not like yourself. A lot of times people don't want to reach out to somebody that looks a little bit different or talks a little bit different or is out of their comfort zone. And they would rather just stay in their bubble or in their shell and be confined to what they know rather than explore and outreach and go into what they don't know, the unknown, and people who are unknown and foreign to them. My story starts when I was hiking at Kennesaw Mountain. It's a mountain in Georgia where there was a Civil War battle. It was brothers fighting with one another, using guns, using cannons, injuring one another. And it was in this place, this very significant place, that I met two of the most incredible people I have ever met in my life. I was walking up the mountain. I was looking to my left, and there was a deer. And the deer was just bountifully enjoying the food that was before it. And as I was looking at the deer, this woman and her daughter were walking by. And as they were walking by, I said, look, there's a deer. And she said, oh, that's the most beautiful deer I've seen. Oh, so precious, so wonderful. And I was amazed. I immediately said, the scripture, because I enjoyed reading the scriptures or the Bible, I said to her, as the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you, O Lord. And as soon as I said that, the woman felt so much tremendous peace. And she said, thank you so much. When you said that, I just felt so much peace. I said to her, oh yeah, no problem. It's just what I believe, that we're all God's kids, and he leads us to paths of peace and paths of bounty and paths of beauty, and he helps us to explore and do amazing things, and he brings us rest. And so this woman, she was fascinated by what I had just said, and she said, I believe the same thing. I'm a Christian too. She said, what do you do for a living? And I said, well, I'm a math tutor. I actually really enjoy working with kids, teaching them math. Her jaw dropped. And when it dropped, she looked at me and said, my daughter here, her name is Sarah, and she is autistic. She doesn't get along with very many people socially. She just would rather not deal with people, but she loves animals. She spent years with different animals, and she wants to be a veterinarian someday. She wants to work with animals. And so I said, oh, that's amazing. That's wonderful. She said, but she's in her senior year of high school, and she has not passed her mathematics examination. She got a 0 on it, and she needs to pass the exam for her to be able to go to college. And so she looked at me and she said, can you help me? And I said, I would love to. I would love to take this on. I would love to help Sarah get this done. And so we scheduled a time, and I went and I met with them. We sat down at a table, and we had her algebra book out. And as I sat with Sarah, I just thought, and I prayed and I meditated for her, that she would be given this gracious gift of being able to do the math problems. I didn't say anything out loud. I just prayed for her in my heart that God would help her to understand the math problems. And so as we sat there with the textbook, there were different problems that I was having her go through one at a time, step by step. And she had very simple questions. Her questions were very articulate, very distinct, and very specific. And so I knew that I needed to be like her in that manner, that I needed to speak to her in a way that was clear, articulate, specific, and orderly, so that she could understand and not have any confusion about the problem and how to solve it. So when she would ask me a question, I would give her just a 3 to 5 word answer. I didn't have a lot of verbiage. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible and as clear as possible. So as she worked on the problem, she would get to another question, and I would do the same thing. I would answer with just a 3 to 5 word answer. Very clear, very articulate, not confusing, and very simple. And so we went through several problems. And after the 2 hours was over, she was getting every problem correct. I was so thankful. Her mom was so thankful. And she said, pray for us. We're going to drive down to Florida and we're going to take the test this weekend. And so I did. I met with her one more time and we went over the math again. But the good thing is she went down to Florida with her mom. She took the test. And when she got her results back, she was so excited. She had stunned the entire school. She went from getting a 0 in mathematics on her final senior test that she needed to graduate high school, and she got a 100. She got every single question right. She understood the math. She understood the pathway. She understood the order. She understood the steps that she needed to take step by step in that math problem to get it right. So I was so thankful and so excited that she passed with flying colors. She was at home on the high school secretary, because that's how Sarah responds when she gets really excited. Oh my goodness, she just clicks and cheers and runs and enjoys and celebrates with her mom. So here, I want to show you a video clip of what Sarah has been able to do throughout her life with her mother, given her disability of autism. It is a phenomenal testimony that you will enjoy.
Hello, I'm Pamela Childers, and I work at Santa Fe College as an outreach specialist, and I help run a program called Spectrum of Success, and it is a program that's geared for college students on the autism spectrum. I have a 26-year-old daughter named Sarah, and she's had some medical issues. She was born planned C-section due to failure to descend because the cord was wrapped around her neck and shoulder, so she never dropped. She wasn't breathing when she was born and they had to bag her. She had a lot of other medical issues as well. So she had a very poor prognosis. And then at 24 months, she was also diagnosed with autism. And the psychologist said, your daughter is incapable of ever loving you or anyone. All you'll ever be to her is a vice. She told me she'd never graduate high school. You need to consider putting her in an institution. And she told me a lot of hard things to hear as a mom. So at 24 months of age, we started with a lot of therapies. She got speech and language therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, social therapy. Our life was therapy, 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 and more therapy for several years. And the therapists were awesome in teaching me how to better help my daughter, because I'm the one who's with her really all day. I homeschooled Sarah for most of her life because I couldn't find a school to meet her needs. I felt it was very important that she was in a positive environment surrounded by people who understood her. And so since I couldn't find it, I homeschooled her. And we also did dolphin whale rescue and rehab. And that was an amazing thing. My daughter just loved that. And we were very blessed to have found Dr. Ruth Ewing, and she took my daughter under her wing. She mentored my daughter, and even though my daughter was just 9 years old, she allowed her to perform necropsies with her, and she taught her a lot. And that's when my daughter became passionate about being a veterinary pathologist. So Sarah started college at Florida State College at Jacksonville, and she struggled. She struggled in chemistry. She took her first chemistry class and she failed. And the academic advisor advised that she needed to change her career path, that there would be a lot of chemistry classes involved if she wanted to ultimately be a veterinarian. My daughter, because she thinks outside the box and she figures things out, she said, no, I want my mom to teach me. She needs to come to class with me. She knows how I learn. So I thought, I don't know if I can do that, but I told her I'd try. So I went to college with her. We took the chemistry class. We both made A's, and we went on to take 9 different chemistry classes. And she was voted by the students as the #1 chemistry tutor. She went on to help countless struggling students with their chemistry. She was amazing. And so she is amazing. And we graduated together with a Bachelor in Biomedical Sciences degree. So fast forward to today, and my daughter applied to veterinary school at University of Florida to become a doctor of veterinary medicine. And she didn't get in the first time she applied. She applied a second time. She got on the alternate list. She comes running up the stairs, Mommy, 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 Mommy. And I thought she was having a panic attack. She hands me the phone, and there was nobody there. We called back the number, and Lynette on the other line, she told me that Sarah was accepted into veterinary school. And I said, is this a prank? Because we just couldn't believe it. And it was really awesome. My daughter was so excited, she ended up hanging up on them. And from there, it's the big joke around the college now that she hung up. It was the first time that anybody's hung up on them when they were accepted. So I'm very, very grateful. And I'm grateful, very grateful to Dr. Sasser for caring so much about people on the autism spectrum and for taking the initiative to start the Spectrum of Success program, and that he truly cares. And I think that we are already making a difference. So Sarah's dream has always been to become a veterinarian, and now she's living that dream. She says going to school every day is better than going to Disney World. We're making a difference, one by one.
Mom, thank you. Thank you isn't enough. I love you, and that still isn't even enough. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video of Sarah and her mother, Pam, just as much as I do, because I know them. They touched my heart for a season in my life, and they were friends. They brought me joy. They brought me peace, and I still talk to them from time to time today. So I'm super thrilled for Sarah that she has not only been able to accomplish passing a math class, graduating from high school, but she has gone on to do much bigger and better and greater endeavors. So I want you to know that autistic children, they are more than capable to do more than you can think or ask. They are more than specialized in areas of expertise if we give them the creativity and the flexibility to be able to study what's in their heart, to be able to be self-determined in their own education and go after what they enjoy. I know that for Pam and for Sarah, they spent hours and hours and hours at various animal parks. Always, constantly, Sarah wanted to be around the animals. She really genuinely is an animal whisperer. I can tell for a fact that she has a special way with animals. It's a gift that she's been given, and she has excelled in her gift, and she has been able to help a tremendous amount of people and animals in spite of her autism. So if Sarah were here today, I would know what she would want to say to you. She would say that a fact that 1 in every 68 children born today will have some form of autism on the autism spectrum. According to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, 1 in every 68 children born today is going to have, according to the statistic, autism in some way, shape, or form on this spectrum, from mild to severe autism. And she would say to you, don't look at the autistic person as somebody less than. They are more than capable. They are able to be a friend, even though it's hard for socially for autistic kids to get along sometimes with others. They become more easily frustrated because they maybe don't understand jokes, or they don't understand terminologies of what people are doing. They're very focused minded on a specialized subject. And I want to say to you that Sarah and I would say, be friends. Okay, always choose to love somebody outside of your boundary, outside of what you know, because you might be missing one of the greatest friendships you would ever have. That is the conclusion of my SPED talk. I just wanted you to know that if you see somebody different, don't judge them out. Don't judge a book by its cover. Look at the inside, look at the heart, look at who they are, and value them. Show respect for them. Show them dignity and show them honor. And you will be able to grow together and do greater things together, working together with your brother and with your sister, just like we met at Kennesaw Mountain. What would have happened if they had laid down their guns and laid down their cannons and instead chose peace, to live at peace with one another? I think that's the most significant thing that we can do with our brother, is to treat one another as we would want to be treated. So thank you. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a wonderful time meeting people who are different than yourself.